quickly, so all I can do is summarise basically what you've heard. I'd like to say at the outset that we do applaud Council's efforts to attract major corporations to Frankston, and that we approve of appropriate developments on this site. But that's the key word here, appropriate. In every study and survey to date, as you've seen, this site's been recognised as the most significant site for the commencement of revitalisation of Frankston, as is clearly documented in the planning scheme, the MSS. You pull out any document, it's there back since 1979. This proposal raises major issues and concerns in at least 4 areas. Issue 1, which is the well-researched and documented community-approved objectives for development, have been completely ignored from what we can hear and what we've seen. Rob has pretty well covered that. The secrecy and total lack of community consultation or involvement in the process to date. The fact that this proposal is being presented and canvassed at this late stage is a travesty against the community of Frankston, and an absolute disgrace given the size of the project, its impact and the effect it will have on this most significant site, not to mention the ripple effect on the CAD itself. The planned contraventions of Frankston's own planning scheme and major deviations from the MSS, thus creating a seriously bad precedent for the precinct. This is due to the fact that the planning scheme has now been circumvented, including the DDO5, the Frankston Toper Bay Structure Plan, the CDZ2 zone. In particular, the DDO5 has mandatory requirements for this precinct. Mandatory, including upper storey balconies, upper level articulation and setbacks, gaps in building mass, new public plaza at the intersection of Wells Street and Cannock Creek Boulevard, that's behind the landmark building. Mandatory maximum height of buildings to be 12 metres within 10 metres of the title boundary and 20 metres elsewhere in the precinct. A permit, I'm quoting from our planning scheme, a permit cannot be granted for buildings and works that are not in accordance with these requirements. This site is unsuitable for high density traffic, the only access being 2 narrow streets, that is Wells Street and Plain Street, which, as locals will know, are already heavily clogged on most days, and especially in summer. The car parking for these employees would need to go somewhere else. They'd need to park at another site. In South East Water's own expressions of interest, they require 10,000 square metres of commercial accommodation. The site in question is 3,000 square metres in area. Do the sums. Therefore, there is really no justification for a building in excess of, say, 4 storeys, 12,000 square metres. We therefore request the planning changes, especially the height limit change voted for on the 24th of July 2012 at council meeting, be rescinded. Issue 4, the $4 million fire sale price, and I call it a fire sale price because that's what it is, of public, that is ratepayers' land, in this prime location from which the city will derive no further income. Land for which a private developer will gladly have paid a much higher price, and in which case would continually earn income for the city by way of rates and charges to the council. What is more, there is a more appropriate pre-designated site near the railway station with easy access to public transport and the CAD for the 700 staff. This site would require no changes to the planning scheme, would leave the most significant creek frontage site available to be developed in a more appropriate manner as was originally intended and promised. That is, a public plaza for the people of Frankston, as per the structure plan, and certainly not a high-rise office block. Thank you.